Salute. What's going on, Talk Nation? Salute to everybody, man. Hope everybody is blessed. More importantly, I hope everybody is ready for fight weekend. Gervonta Davis, Leo Santa-Cruz. It's going down, fight fans. Salute. What's going on, everybody, man? We back at it. Hey, check it out. Fight weekend, Halloween, goons, goblins, and boxing. Tank Davis, Leo Santa-Cruz, Texas. We getting it in, man. So who's going down? Check it out. Keys to victory, Gervonta Tank Davis. Look, everybody knows this is Tank's 14th fight where he's had consecutive knockouts. Will it be number 15? Who knows? A lot of Tank's previous fights, last fight, Gamboa, competition, but this is Leo Santa-Cruz, four-time champion, different divisions he moved up for this fight. Tank is going to have to show more than he's shown in the past. Now, things are different once you get in that ring. You can have a game plan, you can execute that game plan, but all it takes is one shot. Now, like Deontay Wilder, Tank possesses that shot in either hands. Him being a southpaw, like myself, that left hand power shot, we've seen it crush many of people. But Tank's right hand also has crushed many of people as well. So it's going to be an interesting fight, man. The game plan for Tank, according to Coach Calvin Ford, man, like I told you guys before, man, previous videos, please go back and check them out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Moving on, Tank hasn't shown you guys everything that he has in his toolbox yet. He hasn't faced the opposition to bring that out of him. Now, will Leo be that opposition? Leo is a great boxer, very active, very long, very lengthy, but Leo is also a very active puncher. Leo throws a lot of punches, so if he can disrupt Tank early and kind of derail Tank's game plan by being active, by being busy as far as letting his hands go, even if it is utilizing his jab, keeping Tank on the outside, you know what I mean? Which he's definitely going to have to do. And Tank is going to have to work to get on the inside, especially to be effective, because you already know Leo Santa-Cruz, his game plan is going to be distance, but you're not going to be able to utilize that distance the whole fight. You're going to have to get in there and mix it up eventually, but you have to do it very wisely. You have to get in, throw your shots, make sure that you defend yourself, you know what I'm saying, as you backing out, getting on that back foot, and you turning out. But you're going to have to be smart. So Tank, just like Teofimo, sometimes he does, you know what I mean, he try to utilize, you know what I mean, like that leaping left hook. And he may throw that a couple of times in this fight, you know what I mean, to kind of close that distance, especially when when he goes into that high guard. And when he drops down, if Tank can get busy, offset a little bit, and then catch him, you know what I'm saying, as he's coming out of that guard, he could possibly catch Leo. But he's going to have to really be effective as far as boxing. Tank is definitely going to have to box in this fight. I think it's going to be a chess game early on, but as the fight progresses, and both fighters start to settle in a bit, start to gain their rhythm, timing, distance, figure each other out a little bit, then you're going to see their hands let go. Now, out of the two, when those hands start being let go, it can get dangerous for Tank because Leo throws a lot of punches. Now, his conditioning is going to come into play because he moved up in weight for this fight. So will he gas out? Now, I'm guessing that he's going to be reserved for the first 4 or 5 rounds, maybe the first half of the fight. And as the fight progresses on, the second half of the fight, depending upon how he's looking on the scorecards, he may start to let those hands go. Now, if he let those hands go, there's going to be a problem for Tank, because he's not like Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Leo is pretty accurate once he starts to throw. And him having those long, lanky arms, don't get it twisted, man. You know what I mean? Leo has power. And if he lets those shots go, and he doesn't just throw, you know what I mean, straight shots. Leo does mix his punches up very well. So if he's able to go low high and catch Tank with a body shot, you know what I mean, they come upstairs and get to work and get through Tank's guard, it can be very, very troublesome for Tank. We haven't seen Tank hurt. Now, a lot of people are saying that Leo doesn't have the power. You can never say somebody don't have the power to knock the other guy out. This is boxing. Only takes 6 pounds of pressure to knock somebody out. Now, Leo has only been down one time, I believe, in his professional career. I believe that was like in 2009. You know what I'm saying? Tank has never been dropped. So both guys are pretty sturdy on their feet. Now, here we go again with the power. Now, if Leo can take Tank's power, especially early when Tank is fresh and he's crispy, if he can take Tank's power, that's going to give Leo confidence moving forward in the fight. Now, if he's able to not only gain that confidence, but execute his offense wisely and correctly, and utilize his timing correctly, it's going to be a very disruptive fight for Tank. And it may go the distance. And now if this fight goes the distance, it's basically going to come down to not only who was the more busy fighter, which could be Leo, because he does throw punches, a lot more punches, and also damage. Now, who will sustain the most damage in this fight? Tank. Tank has never really been hurt, but like I said, Leo throws a lot of punches, and if some of those punches get through, they can begin to have an accumulative effect. He may not have one punch knockout power, but if you land enough shots, you can start to do enough damage, especially if Leo goes to the body. And by Tank being a shorter fighter, that's actually going to be easy. It's going to work out in his favor. So the right uppercut, the left uppercut, the left hook to the body, those are going to be some principal shots for Leo, as well as utilizing his jab and that straight right hand. So for Tank, definitely going to have to use his jab, you know what I mean? Even if you have to just pop it out there just to kind of get your space and get your rhythm, because Tank has the shorter arm, so utilizing that power jab, he won't be able to do that, especially in the beginning of the fight, unless he goes down to the body. Now, him going down to the body with the jab, he's definitely going to have to be careful, because him going down and Leo being the taller fighter, if he muffles those shots and he offsets Tank, he can catch Tank coming in. So he has to be careful if he tries to utilize that jab and going downstairs. Like I said, it's going to be a busy fight. A lot of people think, Tank is just going to go in there and knock Leo out. That's not going to be the case. Tank is really going to have to box, be patient, utilize his timing, and set Leo up with a couple of traps and try to utilize everything in his arsenal. Can't rely on your power if you're Tank Davis. You're really going to have to show people, and more importantly, show Leo something that they have never seen. Because when you look at the tape on Tank, there's really not too much. I'm not going to say it's not too much to look at, but being as though he knocks out everybody pretty quick, he doesn't really show a lot of the things that he can do. You know what I mean? So this fight is going to make him and cause him to be more patient as far as his execution. He has to be patient. He can't go in there and be overly aggressive. Excuse me. Because if he does, he's going to get caught with something. And like I said, Leo, he may not have that one shot power, but if he times Tank correctly, especially off the jab, because Leo has those long arms, you know what I'm saying? And he doesn't throw looping shots. Tio throws his shots. Leo, excuse me. Shout out to Tiafimo, man. What's up, champ? Leo, he throws his shots straight down the pipe. You know what I'm saying? He's coming straight at you. He doesn't throw a lot of looping shots. He's coming straight at you. So if he throws these shots and he catches Tank, the first thing he's going to do, especially if he gets 1 or 2 of those shots through high guard, he's going downstairs. So he's going to go 1, 2, and he's going down to the body. Or he may mix it up, 1, bop, then come upstairs. But Leo is going to mix up his shots in this fight. He's going to utilize the jab because that's going to be his best punch in this fight, is offsetting Tank with his jab. He has the longer arms. He throws a good solid popping jab. So he's going to have to utilize that in this fight. And he goes to the body pretty well for a tall, lanky fighter. You know what I mean? So he has those long arms, but Leo has power in his shots. He has power in his shots. And like I said, as the fight progresses, and if Tank has any issues as far as his conditioning, he's going to be in trouble. Now, that can easily also be said about Leo because he's moving up for this fight. So will this extra weight slow him down in the later rounds? We shall see. And if it proves to be the case, he's going to be in trouble, because if the fight progresses on and Tank has better conditioning, he's going to press, I would say, between 7 and 12. He definitely between 7, I would say 7 and 10. So that last round, you make Leo desperate. He has to come out there and he has to engage. He has to get that Mexican style on and engage and make it a war. Now, that will prove to be detrimental if Tank is able to execute and push him to the point where he has to utilize that game plan as far as being desperate in the later rounds. Now, we shall see. Because like I said, game plans are all well and good until you get hit with the right shot. And all that goes out the window. Now you have to step up and you have to fight. Now, both guys have proven they can go in there and they can fight, especially Leo. Prime example, you watch the Leo Santa-Cruz and Abner Mares fight. Watch that fight and you'll see what I'm talking about. If need be, Leo can throw, but he hasn't thrown with somebody that has the punching power like Tank. And not only punching power, Tank throws smart shots. He does place his shots well. You know what I mean? You've seen him drop guys, put guys down with some crazy shots. You know what I mean? So he does place his shots well. So if you have good timing, which Tank does, and if you have power, which Tank does, and you have good punch placement, which Tank does, it can be a difficult fight for your opponent. Now, Leo has some advantages going into this fight: his height, his reach, his athleticism. So he's going to have to really lean on some of these talents as well as his boxing prowess to execute the victory and pull this off. If he cannot, then it's going to be a calm yet spotly explosive fight for Tank. If Tank goes into this fight with the mindset of boxing first and knockout second, he may pull out the decision if it goes 12. Now, if it gets reckless, as far as Leo, if he doesn't utilize his game plan and he lets his hands go, that can work out in Tank's favor. You know what I mean? So we shall see. But I really believe, because a lot of people thought when Tio fought Lomachenko, Lomachenko was going to be dancing around, offsetting Tio, you know what I mean, being elusive, doing the little things that he does. He wasn't going to be able to find him, wasn't going to be able to catch him. But I told you guys, go back and watch the previous videos that I did, especially as far as Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko, because everything that I said was true. And guess who pulled off the victory? Tio. And I was going for Tio. Everything that I said that he had to do, he went in there and did. That's why I'm telling you, man. AKA the ghetto Stephen A. I know my boxing, man. You know what I'm saying? I used to fight and in the street. You know what I mean? So I know a good fighter when I see one. And once I've watched you for a while and I see what you do in the ring as far as your energy, your skill, what you like to utilize, and how you put everything together, I could pretty much see what you would do in a fight. You know what I mean? Because end of the day, a game plan is really just trying to offset your opponent's advantages over you, basically. And now the advantage that Tank has over Leo is his power. Now you know that you just can't walk into anything, because you're gonna walk into a shot and get hurt, possibly get stopped. So you're gonna have to utilize, and you're gonna have to keep that fight at range. You know what I'm saying? Keep them at bay, so to speak. Now with Tank, you're going to have to get on the inside, but you're going to have to do it wisely. You can't just, like I said, throw that jab out there to try to get your time. No, you're going to have to utilize your jab. Also your footwork. Footwork is going to be key in this fight for Tank. He's going to have to utilize his footwork, because he's going to have to get in and get out. And he's also going to have to offset, and he's going to have to move around, because Leo has also been working on not only his footwork, but his movement, because he knows that once he throws that jab and he throws certain shots, he's going to have to get out the way, because Tank is coming. Like I said, Tank has good timing, but the only thing that beats good timing is speed. Now, if your speed as well as timing is better than your opponent, then you'll be able to offset his shots if he try to set you up for a counter-offensive. You know what I mean? So we're going to see moving forward who is the more patient fighter, who is the more prepared for fight. Now, watching these two fighters coming up to fight Dayton, what I've seen from Tank, I said this before in the video, Tank, he seems a bit distracted to me. I don't know, because like I said, it's his first pay-per-view. I don't know if it's the pressure of that. I don't know if he has certain things going in camp, because a lot of people were saying that he had weight issues. They thought this was pretty much going to be a fat camp opposed to training for a championship fight, kind of mixing both aspects in there. We shall see. We shall see. Now, Leo Santa-Cruz, I will honestly say everything that I've seen from Leo moving up to fight Date, Leo looks good. You know what I'm saying? He looks good. He looks focused. He looks prepared. Now, mentally, he's been dealing with the situation with his father. His father's health has not been 100%, but his older brother has stepped up as far as training and taking over some of those responsibilities of Papa Santa-Cruz, and he's looked like he has Leo ready to go. Leo, he looks, as far as his composure and his demeanor, he looks like he's ready to go. He looks like he's ready to fight. And one thing that I like about Leo is the fact that he doesn't do a lot of talking. He doesn't talk a lot of crap. You know what I'm saying? Because when you talk a lot of crap and you can't execute, that's a sign of weakness. And that's one thing that I respect about Leo. He doesn't talk. And if you looked at the last press conference, that's one of the things that was spoken about Leo. I believe it was Steven Espinosa that said it when he talked about when he met Leo Santa-Cruz some time ago. And he said that he was very soft-spoken, almost kind of shy, very quiet. But 48 hours later, when he stepped into that ring and seen him fight, all that was out the window. And he's seen an animal. That's what I'm talking about. Talk is cheap. When it's time for war, when it's time for battle, that's what counts. So perception is one thing, but you have to be smart in that perception, because that's one thing that a good trainer knows. A good trainer can see past all that talk, and he can see if the guy that his guy is going to fight truly has talent. Now, Mayweather, Coach Floyd, Calvin Ford. Now, I know for a fact when they see Leo Santa-Cruz, it's the same thing. Yeah, he doesn't do a lot of talking. He loves his family, very quiet. But at the same time, they know that this guy could potentially be a problem if they do not prepare correctly. They know this. Now, Santa-Cruz team, as far as Tank, to be honest, because Tank hasn't shown a lot of dimensions as far as his game, because he necessarily didn't have to, because Tank has been getting people out of there rather quickly. He's been knocking everybody out. So as far as preparation for the fight, that's the main key that you have to prepare for and train for, is making sure that you stay away from that power. And if you are not able to stay away from those power shots, you have to do your best to smother them and offset them, so you don't take 100% of that energy. Now, Leo has good defense. He covers up very well. When he throws his shots, he doesn't drop his hand. You know what I mean? So, especially when he throws that right hand, he never drops his left. He always protects himself. So, Tank being a shorter fighter, it's going to be hard to get to Leo's chin if he keeps his guard tight. So, for Tank, his shots, and he throws good uppercuts, especially when he throws that step to the side uppercut, that may be his bread and butter for this fight. He's definitely going to have to utilize his uppercut more, and that straight right hand, that straight left hand to the body. Now, it's going to be difficult in the beginning, because like I said, first couple of rounds or whatever, the filling out process, everybody is definitely going to be defensively set, making sure that they don't get caught with a shot. So he may throw it down there, but he won't be able to land that flushly and easily until, I would say, the later rounds of the fight, especially if he gets to break Leo down a little bit. But as the fight begins, I would say round 1 to 4, it's going to be a little bit of cat and mouse. You know what I mean? Now, if somebody slips, now let's just say Leo slips, Tank will catch him because Tank is a good finisher. So if Leo slips and Tank catches him with the shot, he's going to be on him quick. So Leo has to be careful. He knows this. He has said this. Now, Tank has to make it his job to basically bust through that game plan, because if you're smart, you know how the situation is going to be played out. So this has been Gervonta Tank Davis, Leo Santa-Cruz walkthrough and keys to victory, part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. Fight fans, get ready, man. This is going to be a good fight. A lot of people thought the fight with Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko was going to go one way, but as we seen in that fight, it went somewhere totally different. We may have another fight like that, or it could be knockout victory number 15 for Tank Davis if Leo doesn't execute a game plan that can disrupt Tank's game plan as well as his power. So stay tuned. Part 2 coming soon. Stay blessed, stay motivated, stay humble, and more importantly, protect yourself at all times, because it's a war going on outside and nobody's safe from it. Peace.